Hey, big hello to anybody watching this. My name is BarriKade, and welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. This is part 6, and we'll be diving right back in where we left off. Having made a deal with Kindly Cheng, a middle manager for the local triad, I believe. She has erased her identities, but now we work for her. In exchange, she is going to keep her eyes and ears and all of her lovely little contact feelers open for any signs of one Raymond Black, our adoptive father. For now, we are working with Isobel, Gobbet, and Big D, Duncan, our brother. So, we need to get some rest. The cot in your cabin is neatly made, with crisp-looking sheets and an insulated plastic blanket. A fine layer of dust coats its surface. It's been a long time since anybody slept here. Let's go to sleep! You climb into the cot and worm your way under the sheets. They've been starched stiff as boards, but you've slept beneath worse. The lice and bedbugs that plagued your own old prison cell are mercifully absent here, and the salt air is fresher than the rancid stink of the Redmond barrows. The moment your head hits the pillow, exhaustion sets in. You can barely keep your eyes open. Sleep washes over you like a warm bath, and everything goes black. Okay. Hello. Okay. I would like to opt out, thank you. The dream is suffocating. The shifting tunnel of glass and steel, the towering silhouette of dark majesty, the shadowy doorway, and the teeth. They snap at your heels as you claw your way back to consciousness. You open your eyes to Duncan looming over you. He shakes your shoulder roughly. James, come on, James, wake up. I gotta go talk to Kindly. The others have already left. Was I drooling? He lets go of your shoulder and smirks. You were sucking your thumb pretty hard. I miss my blanket. He looks around the room. Yeah, I miss a lot of things. Then he cocks a thumb at the latch. We gotta go. Been trying to wake you up for a while now. You were thrashing around in your sleep. Glad you did. I was having one hell of a nightmare. He reaches up and rubs the back of his neck. Yeah, I didn't sleep well either. I had a bad dream last night. You okay? I'll survive. His fingers hit a knot. He winces. But man, nothing's gone right since we stepped foot in this country. I'll tell you something though, and this is after a full night's sleep. I don't believe Ray's dead. What makes you say that? Think about it. That statement from the cops on the newscast could be fake. Ours was. And that surveillance footage? We never saw Raymond get shot. The camera was hit by stray gunfire. His passion is intense, but contained. Focused. Raymond's alive, James. I know it. You make a good case, Officer Wu. He smiles. His teeth are white and straight and perfect. Should have been a detective instead of a headbuster, right? His smile fades. God, I feel like I'm 12 years old again, squatting on a stinking trawler. My partner's gone, Raymond's gone. Hell, I'm gone. I don't even have a name anymore. And now I can't even go to sleep and hide from it all without having a nightmare. His jaw tightens and his teeth grind so loudly you can hear it. What else is going to be taken away from me? Nothing. It's time for us to turn the tables, do some taking of our own. Wu's head cocks like he's got the scent of something. I've heard that tone before. What are you talking about, James? Isn't it obvious? Look around. We're sinless, living in the shadows, dealing with criminals. Wu was silent for a moment. All you get is a blank expression. You're thinking of becoming a Shadowrunner. He says it without judgment, just a statement of fact. I think we already are Shadowrunners. I think... He stops and crosses his arms, considers. I think this whole thing has been a blur. I haven't been able to really stop and think for a second. He shakes his head slowly, lets out a groan. This isn't the way it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be a cop. You get to keep your gun, that's something. Don't mess with me, man. He checks his watch. Gobbett and Isabel left a while ago. We should get going. See what that triad lady has to say. All right. Objective added. Meet with Kindly Cheng. Let's go! Duncan, away! Let's do this! Oh, hang on, no, it's over here, isn't it? Yes! I remember maps! I don't really, but that's okay. Alright, so C is bring up the character sheet, which is good. We will need all the charisma we can get. Oh, hello! We'll just back away slowly. We were never here! Alright. Let's do this. Kindly's place steaks of stale cigar smoke and fresh urine. The clicking of mahjong tiles is strangely absent. In its place is a low murmur of laughter and an air of eager anticipation. All eyes are focused on the groaning figure kneeling, bloody and bound, at the feet of Kindly Cheng. She beckons to him with her finger. He struggles towards her, the loud rustling of the plastic tarp crackling under his knees as he moves. His pants are wet with fear. An acetylene torch lies on the table at Cheng's right. Damn, she is hardcore! Kindly Cheng ignores the scene. She behaves as if all is right in the world. How did you sleep, my little ones? Like a baby, Auntie. I'm still in the afterglow of our tour of the walled city. The Triad boss's eyes turn to half-moons of amusement. Afterglow? Really? She nods her head back towards the pillar of meat standing behind her. Then you should be delighted to say hello to your old friend Strangler Bao. He's here because of you. How very pleasant to see you again, Mr. Bao. Bao inclines his head, 1/4 of an inch. Well then, now that the niceties are over, let's get to the nasties. She indicates the kneeling man with an incline of her nose. Shitbird here is a plainclothes cop. He snuck into the area last night while you were sleeping, hoping to find and kill you before his competition got to you first. My men found him outside the trawler you were sleeping on. They saw to it that your rest was undisturbed, and that your location remained a mystery. She nods her head back towards the pillar of meat standing behind her. You can thank Mr. Bao for that. Not at Strangler Bao. Bao inclines his head, 1/4 of an inch. She addresses the bloody man on his knees. Now, shitbird, tell my friends here what you told me. I don't know anything, I swear. We just got the orders last night. He pushes his head towards you and Duncan from the floor, struggling to keep his balance. Somebody high up wants those two dead. The whole department is on it. I don't know anything else. Someone from high up. The old woman lifts her foot, taps his chin with the toe of her shoe. How high? The cop looks at her, looks around at the room filled with Triad soldiers. One of them opens his coat and shows the cop something inside. He closes it slowly and winks. The cop drops his head to his chest. All the way up. It's someone from the council. Someone on the executive council wants these two dead. Cheng spits on him with a sneer. Fuck your ancestors to the 18th generation. Give me the truth. The cop wears the spittle. He never lifts his head. It's the truth, madam. I swear it. Whoever it was that labeled them as terrorists were to terminate with extreme prejudice. Kindly Cheng shuffles closer to the kneeling cop, reaches down and strokes his head with her scalp. Then she slowly digs her fingers into scalp. She pulls back hard until his chin points high. The Triad boss leans in close and searches his eyes with her own. That's all he's got. She lets go of his head and smooths his buzz-cut hair with her hand. For whatever reason, last night someone on the Executive Council of the Free Enterprise Zone ordered the Hong Kong police force to kill two nobodies from Seattle. I find that fascinating, don't you? Yes, but why the need to label us international terrorists? She strokes the policeman's cheek with the back of her hand. Her rusty voice becomes sweet as she explains the ways of the world. Propriety, my darling. When the government has gunned someone down, they prefer to make it appear justified. But people feel safer when their murders feel like part of civilization. My, but you have definitely fallen into the deep end of the pool. Seattle isn't like Hong Kong. There, the megacorps control the governments. Here, the corps are the government. The Exec Council is chosen by the corporate board of governors. They're basically the legislative and executive branches of the Hong Kong government in one tiny package. 8 people call all the shots. Neat and efficient. Kindly Cheng steps back from the cop and lights one of her thin black cigars. For the wage slaves and civilian sheep, the corporations are a pantheon of gods who wield absolute power. She looks around the room. But not for us. The Triad woman takes a long pull from her cigar and taps her ash on the kneeling cop's head. Who else knows about my guest's visit to Haoi, shitbird? No one, madam. I hadn't called it in yet. I wanted the kill for myself. No one knows her here, I swear it. She turns to her enforcer. Mr. Bao? Bao fiddles with the PDA in his meaty hands. He's telling the truth. No outgoing calls on his PDA. Very good. Thank you, Bao. She nods at the cop. Thank you for your honesty. Well, I know how this is going to go. In one smooth motion, Strangler Bao produces a silenced pistol, fires it once into the policeman's head, and replaces it in his jacket. His face never changes expression. I was wondering what we were going to do with him. Cheng takes a drag on her cigar, indicates the body. He knew, my darling. He knew. She balances her cigar in her shot glass, picks up some mahjong tiles, and begins playing with them absently. It is clear that our friend Raymond Black was up to something involving the walled city, something having to do with prosperity. And this executive council member wanted Raymond dead for it. She stacks her tiles one by one. Click, clack. Now they want you dead for it too. Click. This plastic-faced man may show up on your door one day too. She knocks the pile over, and it clatters to the table loudly. I have a proposal for you, my sweets. A smile lights up her dead black eyes. Work for me. With Nightjar and Gutshot dead, I find myself with 2 job openings. Fill them. I have need of deniable assets here, players unaffiliated with the Triads who can take care of some of the more unsavory business needs about town. You've proven yourselves as resourceful, and you have no existing connections here. That can be a positive in this line of work. Shadowrunners. Wu grunts. His jaw tightens, but he stays quiet. In exchange, I will keep you safe from pests like this. She nods at the body on the floor. The pool of blood on the plastic wrap continues to widen. You'll have safe harbor here in my town, and a steady source of income. She picks up a handful of tiles again. And while you dip your toe into the waters of corporate espionage, organized crime, and clandestine mercenary actions, I will employ my network to find the plastic-faced man and gather information about Raymond Black, where he's been, who he's talked to, who stood to gain from his death, what this prosperity could be. You're putting an awful lot of effort in to help a pair of foreigners. Not foreigners, my sweet. Valued business associates. I need to learn who killed one of my clients and then order the cops to execute my team of Shadowrunners. Her voice drops, and she becomes deadly serious. That is a brazen disregard of my power. Face dictates it must be confronted, or I stand to lose everything. How would the arrangement work? I find the right jobs for people with your talents. You do what our clients cannot do for themselves. I take a finder's fee and a small percentage of your earnings. You make a lot of Nuyen very quickly. It's all very civilized. She leans in. Work with me. Allow me to help you make money. Let my network work for you and help you find out what you've gotten yourselves into. Without my help, you won't last a day out there. You are completely out of your depth, I'm afraid. You need a partner. Kindly Cheng will be your partner. Wu's hands go to his hips. He drops his head and shakes it a little amused. It was just like you said, James. Shadowrunners. Glad I had some time to think about it. Process. He grips the back of his neck, squeezes hard, rips his hand away. Ah, fuck it. I'm not a cop anymore. That guy's dead. He nods. The decision's made. I'm in. What about you? I'm gonna find out who killed Raymond. No. I think Raymond's still alive too. Let's run the shadows and figure out what happened to him. Raymond is alive. I'm sure of it. So we'll run the shadows as long as Auntie Cheng keeps up her end of the bargain and helps us figure out what really happened to him. Then I'm gonna find my father. Then it's done. Haoi is now open to you. She gestures to her lieutenant, who raises a finger to her ear and whispers into her sleeve. First order of business. BarriKade here has already chosen a street name. She turns her attention to Wu. But Duncan Wu doesn't exist anymore. We'll need one too. Wu sighs. Yeah, okay. I'll think of something. Gobbet rubs her cheek against her rats, a glint in her eye. I think we've already got you covered, Gunshow. She turns to Isabel. Fits, doesn't it? Indeed. I knew that was gonna stick. No, you're not big. You are not Gunshow. You're Big D. It has stuck. Gobbet, Isabel, we'll handle this the same way we did with all your previous work. She didn't say Nightjar. All the jobs I line up for you will be sent to your computer on the squat boat. She's pointing at you. I got it. Why him? It's a simple process of elimination. She points to the little Decker. Isabel isn't the leader type. You got that right. She moves her finger to the orc girl. As for Gobbet, let's just say Gobbet doesn't have a head for business. Not my thing. Then she rests her finger on Wu. And then there's Gunshow. She wiggles it. The jury's out on Mr. Gunshow. Meaning? Her response is direct, straightforward. Meaning there's a lot going on with that head of yours right now, and I'm not sure I can trust you. Gunshow will be fine. Trust me. Kindly Cheng makes eye contact with you and holds it. She keeps it steady for a long time. Wu doesn't notice. Don't worry. I'll be cool, James. James Francis doesn't exist anymore. Call me BarriKade. Wu shakes his head, eyebrows raised. Gonna be weird calling you BarriKade again. Haven't called you that since we were kids. Gobbet looks from Isabel to Wu. I guess this is our new crew. The rat on her shoulder scurries to the top of her head for a better view. Welcome to the Shadows, BarriKade. Yay! We're Shadowrunners. Talk to Kindly Cheng. Kindly Cheng regards you coldly and lifts one hand in a dismissive wave. As much as I love your company, I have business to attend to. Clear the hell out of here and go get settled in. Okay. Aw. Kindly Cheng doesn't love us anymore. To the waterfront! So if Haoi is open to us now. Crew advancement available. Ooh, as you lead your team through the shadows, your companions will continue to develop and learn new combat skills. Clicking the icon in the lower right-hand corner of the screen will open the crew advancement menu. When this icon is highlighted, one or more of your companions is eligible to learn a new skill. At each advancement level, you may choose one of two possible combat skills for each of your runners. Choose wisely. Ooh, it's highlighted! So Gobbet can use territoriality. She increases her range skill and SMG. Spirits will never break away in the first 2 rounds of summoning them. Oh, that one! Gobbet's definitely a spirit summoner. She's less of a gunner than anything. So when you summon spirits, they actually have a chance to break away. You have to sacrifice AP, and then you increase the risk of them breaking away to gain more abilities and more power for them. Yes! Alright. Firepower round. Gains an assault rifle ability that fires a single shot of incendiary ammo, does an additional 2 damage and pierces up to 2 armor. Or, crowd control. Duncan gains a rifle ability that does 2 AP damage and imbalances targets, making them easier to hit on the subsequent attacks. So more damage, or crowd control. I mean, crowd control sounds better. Confirm. Sabotage. Isabel's grenade launcher can now fire remote mines, which can be triggered to detonate at will. Okay. Or Tar Blaster 1.0, an upgraded version of Blaster that sticks enemies in place for 1 round. No. Sabotage. I'm gonna be the hacker. Thank you very much. Hang on, so if I click that one, does it change what she levels up? No. Okay. Alright, Sabotage it is. Because as it is, Isabel is really lacking in the ability to affect people on the physical. Alright. Well, I guess now that Haoi is open to me, I'm gonna go talk to everyone. You, down there, who are you? Jin. I want to talk to you, Jin. As you approach the small landing, you see 3 men, 2 elders and a younger man, hunched over a go-board. The juxtaposition of the 2 white-haired, white-bearded men and the black-haired man is almost comical. Together, the 3 resemble the small black and white stones of their game. Despite the variety of ambient distractions, the 3 men remain acutely focused on the game. One of the elders, a round-faced man with a beatific smile, carefully picks up a black stone and places it on the board. His opponent snorts, and a small smile flashes across his long face. Almost carelessly, he snatches a white stone and deposits it on the board. The smiling man groans, and the long-faced one proceeds to collect several black pieces off the board. "Ah, you got me there, Jin." He laughs, a pleasant, full sound. As it trails off, he spots you watching the game. A broad smile brightens his cheeks. "Why, hello there, young man. Something you need?" The long-faced man gives you a cursory look, and continues to collect black stones. "Just a gawker, Shu. It's your turn." "My name's BarriKade. Got a second to answer a question or two?" Shu nods. "I could use a short break. How about you, Jin?" Jin sighs, shoulders slumping forward. After a moment of scowling, he reluctantly speaks. "Fine. A short break." The two elders turn towards the younger man. He looks to be in his early 30s, but it's difficult to tell. The skin on his face is smooth and supple, with only the suggestions of creases at the eye, mouth, and forehead. But small gestures, a blink, a flare of nostrils, briefly reveal the lines of his face. The man's eyes rise from the go board and study the elders. He nods. "I've been hearing about strange nightmares here in Haoi. Have you had any nightmares recently?" The three men exchange looks. Shu turns to you. "What a coincidence! Wasn't but an hour ago that we were all discussing that very thing. We have been having bad dreams, every one of us." "I've had them myself. We should compare notes. What did you dream about?" "Is that right?" Jin leans in, stares at you. "Can't say I'm comfortable with giving a stranger details about my dreams." Shu waves his hand dismissively at Gin. "Don't mind him. He's always been a poor sport. But he raises a good point. Some of our dreams contain information best left private. Just as yours do, I'm sure. Having just met, how can we be sure that you'll respect our personal information?" "I'll tell you." The younger man's voice cuts through the din like a razor, and the elders fall silent. He turns to you and locks his eyes, dark orbs that burn with piercing scrutiny onto yours. He nods and returns his gaze to the go board. "I believe you're trustworthy. Please, BarriKade, make yourself comfortable. I'll share my dream with you." "I appreciate it. Go ahead." He exhales slowly, then begins speaking. "I dreamed of a long, dingy hall. When faced with such a thing, one generally walks its length, so I lifted my right foot and placed it in front of me. But upon taking that first step, I found myself instead drawn down an alleyway to my left. It wasn't there before, this alley. It appeared only as I began to walk. As I moved down the alley, I found myself surrounded by friends and loved ones. They all stood there, silently watching me with smiles on their faces. And as I passed each one of them, they fell to the ground in my wake, dropping like puppets with severed strings. Somehow, I knew that if I followed this road to the end, I could have everything I'd ever dreamed of. But I woke up before I could reach it." He folds his hands in his lap. There's a moment of silence before Shu speaks up, the rosiness in his cheeks having drained away. "I too saw the long hall. My own experience was different, however. The hall was far off in the distance, and I was looking down it from a strange angle, as though I was perched on a wall high above." He pauses and looks at you. "You know, young man, BarriKade, you look very much like the person I saw walking that hall." He moved steadily down the path, walking at an even pace, and just behind him, a great and terrible shadow followed. Of course, I didn't have the best view up there on that wall, or wherever I was. It could have been anyone. Perhaps this old mind of mine is seeing your face now and misremembering the dream." He lets out a chuckle, and a small flush of red returns to his cheeks. He looks over at Jin. "All right, Jin. Go ahead." Jin broods in his corner, arms crossed and jaw set. "I've changed my mind. I don't want to share my dream." "Nonsense! Master Lau and I have both told him our dreams, and now it's your turn." Jin sticks out his lower lip. "No." "It's fine. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to." He holds his palm up towards you and looks at Shu. "See? Straight from the horse's mouth. I don't have to." "Jin." "Jin." Lau's voice is firm but soft. "This is important." Jin's mouth opens and closes like a gasping fish, but as he looks at Lau, his body relaxes and a sadness seems to take hold of his features. All right. but don't you go repeating any of this. You hear me? He takes in a deep breath and slowly releases it, folds his hands in his lap. My dream begins as a nightmare. I've dreamed of the failures and mistakes that I've made throughout my life, the people I've let down, the competitors I've crushed, the wife who died in hospice without me. I dreamed of the family that I abandoned. A change comes over him. His eyes brighten, and he continues energetically. But then I dreamed of the walled city. I stood before it, and its doors opened to me, and when I passed inside, all of my guilt fell away. It was as though the city had absolved me, had washed away my guilt, and I remember feeling happy. As his remembrance ends, so does his lightened mood. His face shrinks into a pout, and he stares grumpily at the ground. There, I did it. You happy? Lau nods slowly. Thank you, Jin. You have my thanks, too. Yeah. Now can we change the subject? My ulcer's acting up. I'm guessing you've been around these parts longer than I have. Is this sort of thing normal? If it were normal, we wouldn't be huddled around discussing them in whispers now, would we? Enough of that, Jin. BarriKade here asked in earnest for our response. For our advice. He deserves a proper response. Shu gives you a gentle smile. Please forgive our friend. Bitter years have left him suspicious of others. The answer to your question is no. Upsetting dreams have never been uncommon in Haoi, but these recent visitations have been different. They have been darker, more vivid, stronger than normal dreams. Last night, I felt consumed by the sense that something was coming. While my friends here felt a sense of relief and excitement as their dreams ended, I felt as though I was sitting on the precipice of some vast and terrible chasm, with the void yawning beneath my feet. Suddenly, his cheeks flush. He blinks twice, then looks away. But perhaps these are just the ramblings of an old man. Please, forgive me. He scratches his nose, embarrassed. You speak wisely, Shu. It is foolish to embrace a thing you do not understand. What Jin and I saw in our dreams was alluring, but so is the light to a moth. Your instincts are still sharp and strong, my old friend. It is wise of you to trust them. Shu bows deeply, his eyes to the ground. Thank you. I can only hope these dreams do lead to something beautiful. There's already enough deception in the world. Jin groans loudly. Can we get back to the game now? I don't want to keep you. Of course. Stop by again sometime, BarriKade. Your company has been refreshing. Thanks. Good luck with your game. Appreciate it, young man. We'll be seeing you. All right, cool. Who are these guys? Reliable Matthew. All right, sure. Smooth jazz drifts from cheap speakers on this barge. A wide variety of worn-down drones litter the battered deck. Most are utility and domestic drones, but a few, cordoned off from the others, are low-end security models. The salesman smiles indulgently at you, a tall, lanky human of clear Cantonese ancestry. He's wearing a cheap suit and limply clutches a smelly cigarillo. He adjusts his tie with an exaggerated nonchalance, languid, ostentatious, like an American casino prompter. Hey there, beautiful. Welcome to our floating heaven. You've got a discerning look at you. What brings you to Reliable Matthew's Robot Bazaar? He taps ash over a bulky cleaning drone beside him. Not waiting for an answer, he continues. Perhaps you're looking for a hexacopter as a guide to Hong Kong, or a little handheld tarantula beauty to brew your tea. You're Reliable Matthew? That's right, Reliable Matthew Shun at your service. He extends his hand to shake. The odors of peach-scented moisturizer and stale tobacco smoke wash over you. How about it? Shake his hand. Pleasure to meet, Reliable Matthew. Always, always. Welcome to our little patch of peace on the river. I think you'll really love Haoi. It's just a fantastic place. Well, now that we're acquainted, maybe we can brighten up your day a bit. What's on your robots list, friend? I'm interested in your combat models. Reliable Matthew looks over his shoulder at the security drones, some heavily cannibalized in the corner of the yard. He turns back to you with a nervous smile. Funny you should ask. I've just gotten a Doberman that I'm selling at an incredible bargain price. Shall we take a look? Yeah, let's look at the security drones. All of them. Wow. Old. Ooh, cargo carrier. What does that do? Armor 3. Maybe not a bad idea. I'm going to get some new armor. There we go. That fits. So place the crappy jacket. Like the old songs say, a droney day is a happy day. Goodbye, Matthew. Oh, that's cool. A little bit different than our typical attire. So, now I think we're going to spend the rest of the episode just going around talking to everyone in Halo. Parlor of 5, was that 5 palaces? 5 phases. Ooh, that sounds nifty. In we go. Is that Crafty Zoo? Yeah. A mild scent, sweet and slightly herbal, is the first thing you notice upon entering the old shop. Its quarters are cramped, made smaller by the display cases and furniture packed inside. The walls are lined with bookshelves, and the tables and chairs are stacked with old tomes. A few titles jump out at you. Lucid Dreaming, an exploration of the inner self. Dream Logic, Nocturnal Visitations. Overall, the place feels lived in, if disorganized. Not quite cluttered, but close. Milling at the front of the store is the shopkeeper, lost in a book of her own. She's tall for a human, probably close to 2 meters in height. Her physique is typical bookworm, not overweight, but you can't see any muscular definition either. A wraparound tattoo covers her upper arms and shoulders, but from where you're standing, you can't quite make it out. She fidgets. Gradually, her eyes rise from her book and lock onto you. Welcome. Don't believe I've seen you before. She sets down her book and sweeps a strand of black and pink hair behind her ear. Name's Crafty. BarriKade. Nice to meet you. She shakes your hand. Her grip is surprisingly firm. So, BarriKade, what can I do for you? I've got spells, alchemical regents, foci, whatever you want. Really. Might have to do some digging to find it, but if it's magical, it's around here somewhere. Say, Crafty, have you had any vivid dreams lately? Her face is unreadable. Her eyes lock onto yours. As a matter of fact, I have, BarriKade. But we all get the occasional vivid dream. Nothing special here. Gesture to the books on the tabletop. Really? And why are you reading up on them? She flicks her wrist dismissively. Sure, it's a little weird that we're having them, but these types of dreams are common in the walled city. Nothing to get all worked up about. Probably. Strange. I met someone the other day who said that too. She nods. Anyone who's familiar with the walled city would know that, but most people don't go out of their way to find out. My mother devoted her life to researching the walled city and the magical phenomenon within it. So I grew up with stories about the city, the recurrent creepy dreams being one of them. They're common, then? She nods. Common as the cold. My mother devoted her life to researching the walled city and the magical phenomenon within, so I grew up within stories about the city, the recurrent creepy dreams being one of them. I've never been inside the walled city myself, but Mom went in pretty regularly and experienced the dreams. Your mom sounds like an interesting person. The sides of her mouth dip into a shallow frown. Sure, she was interesting. Not praiseworthy. Is this your story or did you work here? It's mine. I inherited it from my mom. As you can see, she generously left me all of her research journals. Her words are thick with sarcasm. Mom was never a big cleaner, but neither am I. My mom used to keep spirits around that helped her manage the place. They're not here anymore, but sometimes I swear my books aren't where I last left them. Who knows? Maybe they pop by for visits. I just wish they'd clean while they were here. What's with the name of the store? It's a cultural thing. The 5 phases represent wood, earth, water, fire, and metal. Some people believe they're the basis of how things function and interact in this world. You'll find it practiced all throughout China, in disciplines ranging from farming to science, even music. The theory isn't common among younger generations, but it has its uses. My mom was strongly influenced by it. In fact, our sign out front is a visual representation of the cycle of 5 phases. It was an inspiration to her. She raises her shoulder in a half shrug. I just think it looks neat. What makes this store so special? It's old, respectable, built over a dragon line. She slightly tilts her head to the side. We also carry text unavailable anywhere else, but I guess for me, I'm drawn to this place by the nostalgia. How do you like working here? It's a job, can't complain. I have a question about something else. Tell me about yourself. She raises her shoulder in a half shrug. I'm not sure where to start. What do you want to know? What do you do when you're not at work? I've been pretty crunched here at the shop, so I don't have a lot of time outside of work. But when I'm off the clock, I like to read and paint. Maybe kick back and enjoy a meal with my friends. My buddy Gobbet stops by with food, sometimes. No drag racing or anything. Pretty boring. I know a Gobbet. Wonder if they're the same person. You know a lot of Gobbets? Her teasing resolves itself into a gentle smirk. I'm sure they're one and the same. She's a good person. We're not real close, but we have a pleasant relationship. Chatting over French fries, discussing our latest reads. You know, shallow things. How do you know her? We work together. Good. Keep her by your side. Goblet's pretty fluent in the ways of this city and the people who live here. She knows her stuff. If you stick with her, you'll find yourself in a lot less trouble than you would otherwise. What do you like to read? Crafty claps her hands together, and a slow smile spreads across her face. Aside from the usual, I love sitting down each morning to a tall cup of soy calf with the latest news streams on hand. I pop it right open to the obituaries. Makes for great reading. She smiles at you for a moment before speaking. Kidding. Well, for all you know. I tend to stray towards detective novels, maybe some suspense and horror, and when I'm not reading for leisure, I study my textbooks to keep my magic sharp. You said you paint? Just for fun. I don't make any money off of it or anything. I just find it relaxing. She pats her arms. Design my tattoos, but that's about the extent that I take it beyond the canvas. Mind if I see the tattoo? I can't quite make it out from here. Yeah, sure. She turns her back to you, and you can see the tattoo in all its glory. It looks like an impressionist rendition of a school of salmon jumping upstream. The artistry of the piece is undeniable. That's amazing. Really professional quality work. An embarrassed smile creeps into her features. She scratches her shoulder. You're being way too generous. I'll take it. Thanks. Sounds fun, but I'd like to ask you something on a more serious note. Sure, what's on your mind? Is Crafty really your first name? No. A wave of nostalgia seemed to pull her gaze towards the shop's window. The name started out as a joke, actually. Back home, my mom used to call me Crafty, since the meaning is similar to my given name. I liked it because of the way it sounds. I insisted that my family call me Crafty, so it became a sort of nickname around the house. When I got older and started school in Hong Kong, I made my mom register me as Crafty, and it stuck. So what's your given name? Meow. She raises her hand to prevent you from replying. Yes, like a cat. You foreigners always make that same joke, which is why I grew up hating Meow. Call me Crafty. Okay. Meow. Your mother sounds like quite the mage. Did you study magic too? I sure did. Natural predisposition. She flexes her arm. Or whatever. But Mom and I learned the craft differently. I went to a university and she was book taught. Mom was very old school. Her magic wasn't as applicable to everyday situations. It was rooted in superstitions. It still worked, and well, but only for more ritualistic, ancient spells. Practical spells like rain shields and bottomless trash cans were outside of her repertoire. Back on topic. I'd like to see your wares. I can't use any of those. What the hell? Blood magic. You probably should not use that particular... You shouldn't... Whew. Anyway. Putting it for +1 charisma. So I could get that for Goblet. No, it's fine. Thanks, Crafty. See you around. I mean, probably. You're one of my favorite NPCs already. Off we go! Maybe that law guy will talk to me now. I could really use some better tech. Just saying. Please? Someone? Anyone? Better tech? I'm willing to pay. Spider Shen? That's an awesome name. Alright. Despite the wind and rain pelting Haoi, the proprietor of this store, a monk, judging by the outfit, is unconcerned. The monk's expression is indifferent, though hardly placid or serene. Muscles show as tightly wound metal bands beneath the skin, ready to snap in any direction without warning. What's more, the monk's robes are anything but ordinary. Certainly, silk makes up the base outfit, but it's paired with high-impact ballistic armor, heavy-duty boots, and a bandolier of throwing knives. The table in front of you is arrayed with a wide variety of melee weapons, charms, jade pendants, and other mystical accoutrements. Beneath an awning in the rear are rows upon rows of cages, each housing some variety of exotic reptile or insect. These in turn are flanked by jars and boxes of Chinese herbs, incense, powders, and inks. The monk spares you only the shortest of glances as you approach. I am Monk Shen. Most people in Hawaii call me Spider Shen on account of the spiders back there. You're not local. Not by a long shot. It's definitely a statement, not a question. Yeah, what about it? Shen shrugs and swings an open palm across the table in front of you. So you probably have more reason to buy something than my neighbors, and I'm here to sell, so that's good. Swords, knives, clubs, I sell it all. I make most of these, but if I can't, I've got friends who can. If you need incense or salves for meditation, I can make and sell those too. And if your joints ache, I can give you acupuncture. Shen places both hands on the table, leaning over it towards you with a wicked grin. So, what can I show you? You're a monk and a weapons dealer? Shen slowly raises an eyebrow, arms folded. Yeah. Where else would the ancient masters have gotten their legendary swords and spears? Down at the mall? I was at Wudang Mountain for 15 years before coming back to Hong Kong. I've been practicing Xingyi Quan my entire life. That's where I learned the herbs, as well as the forms. It just so happens I'm good in a forge, too. That's why what you buy here is better than most other people's. Why are your weapons special? Because I take greater care with them, and I've studied the ancient texts. Anyone can make an excellent carbide steel blade, but I can make that carbide blade burst into flames. I can make it sing with joy in combat. Anyone can make steel. Not anyone can awake its soul. Can I see one of the blades you've awoken? Shen waves a hand at you dismissively. No, of course not. Swords like that have to be custom ordered. Only when someone cancels an order do I have one just lying around. And believe me, they get snatched up quick. What's Xingyi Quan? Shen strikes a sudden pose, body low, one fist open against a hip, while the other extended in an open palm. The 5 element style. Water grows wood, which burns to become fire. Fire grows ash and earth, which condenses into metal, etc. The forms cycle the 5 elements, and opposing elements block each other. A water fist will break a wind defense, but a water block will extinguish fire. Should one use a water interception on a metal fist, however, water will be smashed apart. Direct, simple, powerful. Not so eloquent as Baji Quan or Tai Chi, but much more powerful. Shen pulls a tarp away from a nearby lump. The object beneath the tarp is revealed as the door to an Ares city monster armored personnel carrier. It's been caved inward by a massive amount of force, and the dead center of the door is an indentation into which Shen's fist would fit perfectly. Power comes from focus, and focus comes from practice and meditation. Xingyi Quan produces more power than most other forms of Kung Fu, and applies it in a highly focused way. So why become a weapons dealer out here? I was a runaway, a street orphan in Aberdeen. One day an old man who called himself Woe offered to take me in. Let me make something of myself, as long as I worked hard. Nothing in life is free, friend. Not even Grandfather Woe's help. So I work for him now. Sounds like he was part of a triad. Shen's eyes roll at this. Obviously. You think I'm in Kindly's little haven for no reason? She and Grandfather Woe are on good terms. I don't get in her way, I pay a cut to her, and everybody's happy. Even Woe, because I solve problems for him. Shen raises a balled fist, which suddenly bursts into blue flame. After a moment, it gutters and goes out. Remember that if anyone ever gives you something for free. In Heioi, you pay it back with blood or money, but you pay it back regardless. Okay, I get the picture. Let's talk about something else. Let me tell you to look at your wares. A katana. Street monk, that's cute. Throwing knife, spiked fist, magic resistance, machete, katana. Oh, katana. A cheap reproduction of the Japanese classic. Oh yeah, I sell all the best stuff. You sell the snakes and spiders too? Shen shakes a finger at you, eyes narrowed. No, they're mine. I can sell you the things I craft with my hands or the things I can do, but the medicines and poisons I make are my secret. You want those? You apprentice to me. In 5 years, maybe I show you how to make a poultice, eh? They're that secret? Of course they're secret. These are what set me apart from the rest of the street dealers in Heioi. You want cram or bliss? Any 2-bit triad punk can make you for that. But I can realign your ki, set your yin and yang in balance, or set someone else's out of balance with a few drops. To master my skills, you need to learn for years. It's not just following a formula. You need to learn. You need patience. You try to learn without patience, all you do is ape the masters. Shen snaps 2 fingers and points at the cages. You have to understand them to truly learn my art. Otherwise, you never become a master. Might as well get Skillsoft. Alright, that's it. That's it for now. Thanks, Spider Shen. You creepy son of a... Alright, who else is around? Where's Mr. Law? Okay. Wasn't he... Oh, there he is, down there. Well, let's talk to this guy. Frederick Ka-Fai. Frederick? That's an awesome name. Alright, Fred. Like most troll bouncers, this man is knotted with muscles, but absent are the myriad scars that come with age or indiscretion. His only blemishes are the bony skin growths common to his kind, and a single deep scar across his neck and collarbone. You watch yourself in here. Or else we check your aerodynamics. Aerodynamics? Anyone causes trouble? I see how far I can throw him. No fighting, no killing, no sex trade. He lifts an arm, flexing. His muscles jump out like a mass of serpents and steel cabling. His arm is easily as thick as most humans' waists. I don't mess around. Okay, let's go to Club 88. Henry Coffey, sorry. There's only one way to describe the troll haunting the back of Club 88. Weathered. It is as if the man has been carved from granite, and then battered by the crash of waves and salty winds over the course of decades. Welcome to Club 88. No killing, no fighting, no sex trade. I can respect that. I'm BarriKade. I'm Henry Coffey. I suppose I own this place. If you're looking for guns, speak to my wife. If you're looking for farmers, speak to my son Callum. And if you're looking for trouble, you'll be seeing my son Frederick. Briefly. And what should I speak to you about? Nothing. I just steer the ship. What ship? There's always a ship. I'm gonna leave you be. So you're Callum. You do drugs. I've got some stuff for you, but I want to talk to your mother about guns. I guess that's this way. Ooh, okay. Mean Coffey, huh? Ermine. The older troll woman has a striking Amazonian quality. When she was younger, she must have really turned heads. Can I help you? I'm usually beyond helping, but what can you offer? Guns or a swift kick out of the door if you mess with me or mine. This is my family's place. Me, my husband, and our 2 boys. Now, do you have business with me? I have no time for window shoppers. What do you have for sale? Firearms from all over the world, from Ares to Walter, and everything in between. You in the market? Let's take a look! Oh, yes. So that's pretty good. Why does it do more damage than that? Let's go passive. 28. Not really a lot that I can use. So these are all SMGs. Any outfits? What's that? Secure tech armed clothing. Meh. Doesn't give me any bonuses. I mean, I guess I could grab a gun that does more damage. Alright. Medium range. Look, I'll get the Finchetti with Smart Link because I needed a little more damage at this point. Sell items. Oh yeah, I can sell. Oh, I would like to sell that. Total profit, 75 million. Done. Yay! Alright. Come back anytime. Anything else you need? What can you tell me about Hayoi? There's only one thing you need to know. The corporations do not rule Hayoi. We're under Kindly Chang's umbrella, and her Yellow Lotus soldiers protect the docks and maintain the peace. But we're not Triad members, and they don't own us. Hayoi is a crossroads, where goods change hands and deals are made. Kindly makes the market, but we, the families, make it happen. Ermine speaks with the pride of a woman who bows politely to great powers, but never prostrates herself before them. Families rebuilt this place when it was left to rot. Strong families, like mine, and we protect our own. Outsiders and cores know that tangling with Hayoi is more trouble than we are worth. The Triads know it is better to work with us than against us, and now you know these things as well. You would do well to remember them. Now, are you looking to buy? I'm going to leave you be. Very well. Was there anything else? Nope. Away! I mean, I guess we should go and talk to the drug dealer and see if we can sell our, I think it was Narcojet, or... Better groomed than most of his kind, the young troll nonetheless ruins the effort with his own blatant drunkenness. His eyes are red and his expression foggy, yet he otherwise appears to be high-functioning. Have a drink, friend! Have 2! And maybe something else to chase it, right? I think you may have drunk it all. And why shouldn't I? It's my right. I'm a prince of Club 88. Chosen, you might say. You're part of the family that owns this place? You are a shrewd one, my friend. I am the heir apparent, and my birthright to peddle chems to every sniffer that passes through our gates. What do you say? Need something to pick you up or bring you down? Let's see what you have. I want to sell something to you. It's drugs. It's Toko. Oh, can I not? What, am I not allowed to sell stuff to you? Oh, guess I already did. Alright. That's it. I want nothing else to do with you. Goodbye! Alright. That's the subway. Oh, this was the place that we saw before. We couldn't go in. Gonna have to go there. A massive steel door is set into a bunker-like concrete wall. There is no sign or identification of what this place is. The battered intercom is encased in a cage of welded steel and armor glass. Grainy letters are barely readable on the screen. Chrome Alley, medical services, mechanical repair. Done! In! There's a crackle of static, and a brusque voice answers. What do you want? The voice's Cantonese is precise, but the accent sounds American. Knock knock, I need some medicine. Ha ha, very funny. Listen, guy, I don't know you. I don't like people I don't know. What are you doing here? Who sent you? I'm friends with Isabel and Gobbet. Yeah, those two dragged some real prizes out of the river. You get Nightjar to vouch for you, I'll consider giving you the time of day. Got it? Nightjar's dead. There's a long silence on the intercom. Crying shame if that's true. And I saw that one coming. So you just washed up with Isabel and Gobbet, huh? You know what that tells me? You here today, and you'll be gone tomorrow. I'll keep my distance. Kindly will vouch for me? Yeah, you idle your engine there for a minute. I'll check on that. There's a long silence on the intercom. The door gives several heavy metallic clicks. There's a dull rumble, like heavy bolts sliding back. A green light flashes on the terminal. The door appears to be unlocked. You can enter the clinic. I will do so. Hiya! Oh, hello. There's a 10-armed Ambrose. The clinic looks like it's just hosted a party. Spindly mechanical arms swing from an unobtrusive wall mount, pulling down crepe paper ribbons and scooping food platters and empty beer bottles into biohazard bags. A severely crippled Caucasian man sits in a wheelchair amidst the maelstrom of mess and robotics. He's in his 40s, thick beard, tungsten earrings, beer belly, one cyber eye. Both his legs are missing, one at the hip, the other at the knee. He has only one arm, and only 3 fingers remain on his surviving hand. His face and arm show the scars of reconstructive surgery. He grins widely at you, regarding you with bloodshot eyes. He's clearly hungover. Hey, I'm Ambrose! He shouts cheerfully in English, his words piling together in a loose Midwestern accent. You call me 10 Arms. Welcome to the Kong, fellow Eucassian. He chuckles, his chest shaking with mirth. A Waldo arm springs to life and swings over to him. Its menacing metal pincer momentarily sets a cigar between his lips, just long enough for him to inhale from it. Kindly says you're all right. What can I do for you? Your front door could stop a bulldozer. Why so fortified? You kidding me? Have you any idea how much all this stuff is worth? This is high capital operation. Life's dangerous for a guy missing most of his members, tooling up smugglers and criminals. Let me tell you what, though. Someone busts in here, they're going to be in a world of hurt. Ambrose chuckles evilly. There's a lot more than pipes and wires up in the false ceiling, and I've got Kindly's crew and the Club 88 boys on the panic button. They know which side their bread is chromed on. What, you think you're trying to knock me over? He laughs uproariously, but it's not clear if he's kidding. You're a doctor? Sure I am. I'm a rigger. A rigging doctor. The Proctor! Ambrose bursts into laughter, then stops and clutches his head. Oh man, I cannot laugh hard today. Too much partying last night. That hurts. I'm not board certified, but don't worry. I should be. I'm full-on skilled. My work's Yellow Lotus guaranteed and precisely in accordance with World Medical Association standards. Everybody in Hawaii comes to me, 'cause I'm the only option. Ha ha ha. Ambrose chuckles delightedly. Very well, Proctor. Right on. Let's get you tricked out. Unless you just want to bullshit, which I'm down for too. What do you do here? What do I do? Tune-ups and engine rebuilds. On your ass. I do it all. First aid, second aid, surgery, cybernetics, obstetrics, euthanasia. I'm your one-stop shop for health and beauty. Well, maybe not beauty. Can you install me with combat wear? You know it. You got the coin and the essence. I'll trick you out like a bulldozer with ground effects and a turret. I've got it all. Bionic limbs, wild reflexes, decker wear, blood filters, synthetic muscle, bone lacing, greased bearings, ground effects, tight bolts. The full range of Chrome Alley services is something that we like to keep beneath the HKPF's radar. Ambrose winks. What sort of mechanical services do you offer? Nothing you'd be interested in. Right now, I'm mostly doing engine mechanics and electrician stuff. I send Maximum Lore and Reliable Matthew any work they can handle. It's really just a hobby and service to the community. I make a note with the clinic. It looks fondly over the massive, partially assembled V8 engine occupying part of the operating theater. That baby's gonna be a goddess when I'm done with her. Let's talk about something else. Show me your services! Cyberware! Ooh, +1 body, you say? I mean, I could go for being a bit tougher. And the cyber eyes look nice. Aha! That's 750. So there's a big part of the Shadowrun world is augmentation. There are two types of augmentation. There's cyberware, which is taking mechanical components and either replacing them or augmenting parts of your body with them. And there's bioware, which is much more expensive and much more difficult to create because you have to cultivate. You actually have to cultivate the tissue yourself, and it has to serve a particular purpose. So you get like super thyroid gland and blah blah blah. So, I mean, I've got a better gun, but I don't have any better programs. So no, I don't think I can afford the cyber eyes. Reset. The bone lacing's so good though. +1 body. No, can't afford it right now. Goodbye, Ambrose. Time for me to go. Cheers, BarriKade. Talk to you later. I mean, probably yes. I'm going to get so weird out. Examine the lobby. This electro-furnace room has been built as a medical clinic and a machine shop. The air is alive with the rumble of furnaces and the humming of cooling fans. It is sweltering. The front area is more like a homey coffee house than a clinic lobby. Comfortable old furniture, used digipads, coloring books. The wall opposite the boilers is cluttered with a mixture of photos and prints, local artist work, images of military vehicles, off-road racing, Rube Goldberg machines, personal photos, old-time Chicago gangsters, the Desert Wars Motorized Combat Division. Glance around the clinic space. The work area looks more like a machine shop than a medical theater. A roboticized operating table and a hydraulic lift support a partially disassembled V8 engine occupy places of equal importance against the north and south walls. Prosthetic limbs are racked overhead, like machine parts. A heavy lifting hoist is clamped to an I-beam. An impressive home-built computer sits against the far wall. Several bulkier towers sit under the desk, fans whirring. It looks more like a sysadmin Decker's server station than a doctor's terminal. The floors are scuffed concrete, stained with grease and old blood. The faint odors of ammonia, gasoline, and antiseptic mingle in the air. A large sign on the back wall reads, Sanitary Space. Alright, sadly, we will have to leave it there as I have to go and attend to a personal matter. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed that part of Shadowrun Hong Kong. We've got a lot more information now. We can actually purchase things from people in Halo. Things are looking up for us, and we've been officially recognized as Shadowrunners in Kindly Cheng's service. Alright. Please like, comment, or subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you would like to see more. Leave a comment if you have any tips for the game, or if you just want to tell me these videos are terrible and you wish I would stop. Either way, thank you again for watching. Take care, have a fantastic day, and be good to one another. BarriKade, out.